Siddhesh's mother was very busy today. She was late for her work. In a hurry, she asked Siddhesh to keep the milk and curry in the refrigerator. Siddhesh said, "Okay, mom." But in the evening, when mother came home, she was surprised by the scene. All the food was on the kitchen counter just as she had left it. Mother scolded Siddhesh. "What is this, Siddhesh? Why didn't you put the food in the refrigerator? It is summer now. The milk might have got spoiled." You must have observed that your mother heats some substances daily. Some substances are kept in the refrigerator. If there is no refrigerator in the home, then she heats the substances like milk, curry, and when they get cooled sufficiently, keeps the containers in the cold water. We have learnt earlier that food grains are dried in the sun before storing in sacks. This means that the food grains are preserved better when dried in the sun. Which other food items are preserved by heating in the sunlight? Keeping papad, kurdaya, sandge, and many more food items like these in the hot sun to dry. Do you know which ingredients are added to these food items? Salt, chili powder or chilies, papad khar, etc. are added to these food items. Papad, wafers, chips are saltier, aren't they? The proportion of salt in these food items is slightly high because salt is a good preservative. Hence, these food items are preserved for a long time. We buy food items like wafers, jam, sauce. Can you name the ingredients of these food items? Wafers and chips are salty. Salt acts as a preservative in these food items. You like muramba, jam, gulkand, don't you? These food items are sweet or sour in taste. The proportion of sugar preserves these food items. Ask your mother how many days have passed since she last purchased cereals like rice, wheat, jowar and pulses. Observe what is more durable, flour of the cereals or whole grains of the cereals. For how many days can food items like milk, vegetables, eggs and fish can be preserved? Observe which food items keep longer, cooked or uncooked. Which food item keeps longer, milk or ice cream? You can tell by observing the expiry dates on the respective packages. Observe the expiry date of every food item that you buy from the market. Do you see that every food item lasts for a certain period in normal temperature? In winter, food lasts for a longer time. What happens really when a food item gets spoiled? Do you eat foods like bread and biscuits which we buy in shops? Let us do an experiment. Put a piece of bread in a closed box for a week. What do you observe when you open the box? A black, white or greenish cotton-like substance has grown on the piece of bread. These are microorganisms. Micro means very small, minute. We cannot see these microorganisms with our naked eyes. We have to observe them using a microscope. Spores of these microorganisms are already present in the air and in water. Spores are very small in size. They are very minute egg-like structures. They do not trouble us always. But if the food is left as it is for a long period of time, microorganisms grow rapidly on it. If we eat such food items, we can suffer from vomiting, stomachache, etc. Hence, we must eat freshly prepared food only. We must see the expiry date of the foods which we buy from the market. Various methods are used to preserve different food items. Food grains, onions, potatoes are dried in the sun. Drying is also used to preserve food items like papad, kurdaya, etc. by keeping them directly in the sunlight. Curry, vegetables, milk are boiled or kept in the refrigerator. When a food item is boiled, microorganisms on it are destroyed. When a food item is kept in a refrigerator, Microorganisms cannot grow in such low temperature. One more method of preservation is to keep the food items in an airtight container. The food items are sterilized. That is, the microorganisms in them are destroyed before they are packed or canned in airtight containers. The substances which are used to preserve food are called preservatives. Sugar, salt, asafoetida, mustard, edible oil, vinegar are some examples of preservatives. Now you must have understood why preservation of food is important and also learnt about various methods of preservation of food. What did we learn? The shelf life of every food item is different. Food grains, onions, potatoes are dried in sunlight. Papad, kurdaya, papdya are dried in sunlight. Moreover, these food items are made a little salty so that they get preserved for a long period. Wafers, chips are also made salty. To preserve food items like fruits, tomatoes, lemon-specific substances are used. They are known as preservatives. Salt, sugar, vinegar are some examples of preservatives. If food items are kept for a long duration without using them, then some microorganisms grow on them. If we consume such food items, then we may suffer from vomiting, diarrhea, stomachache, etc. Exercise. Answer the following questions in full sentences. 1. What do we do to preserve food items like papad, kurdaya, etc.? 2. What are preservatives? 3. What happens when food gets spoiled? Question 2. What will you do if you are going to be away from home for a few days and some milk is left over? Father has brought a lot of lemons from the market. You have gone to the market to purchase a bottle of sauce, but the shopkeeper gave you an old bottle of sauce which is past its expiry date.